So, guys, Igor Hernandez here. I'm one of the attorneys at Cornish, Hernandez and Gonzalez, where I practice injury law and first-party homeowner property claims. And today I want to talk to you about the fact that in Florida, we do not have mandatory insurance requirements for cars, and why, even though we do not have mandatory insurance for cars, following your agent's advice of getting the bare minimum or getting basically what I consider to be no insurance is a terrible idea. So let me get you some background before we get into the meat of the video today. So in Florida, unlike other states, unlike some other states, you can buy a car and you could go get insurance, and the law only requires that you buy insurance for yourself, meaning the law only requires that you buy something called PIP, personal injury protection, which is what we call no-fault insurance, which only protects you. So if somebody gets into an accident with you, you have $10,000 for medical bills, medical expenses for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's your fault. It doesn't matter if it's the other side's fault. None of that matters. What matters is that you got into a car accident and this PIP is going to kick in and basically pay for your medical bills for up to $10,000. Now, why is that important? Well, because you may be thinking, well, if the law only requires $10,000 in PIP, I'm not going to buy the other insurance. I'm not going to buy bodily injury coverage. I'm not going to buy uninsured motorist coverage. I'm not going to buy pretty much anything that the law doesn't require. And the only thing the law requires is for me to insure myself for up to $10,000 in medical bills. And if you're thinking that that's a horrendous idea, and I'll tell you why. In Florida, if you cause an accident and that accident ends up being, you hurt somebody and it ends up being a significant injury, that person is likely, or that person's insurance is likely to sue you. And if they do sue you, then you're going to have to defend the case. And defending the case means you're going to have to hire a lawyer. And lawyers going to cost a lot of money. And if you don't have the money to hire a lawyer, you're going to be in court by yourself. And if you are defending your own case, chances are it's not going to go too well. And then you're going to get hit with the judgment. And that judgment is going to be significant because due to our medical industry in Florida and in the United States, pretty much any injury is going to be worth a lot of money because it's going to come with a lot of medical expenses. And that's not even counting the pain and suffering aspect of it. And so you're going to be in court, you're defending yourself, chances are it's not going to go too well, you're going to get hit with the judgment. And that judgment is going to be basically something that's hanging over your head for 25 years, potentially, unless you declare bankruptcy. With that judgment, depending on your financial situation, the person who gets the judgment against you can actually garnish your wages. There's a whole bunch of different exemptions to this, but the reality of it is that it is a possibility. That person could put a lien on your car. That person could put a lien on your personal property. That person could basically try to execute that judgment against you and take all the property that you have, with exceptions like your homestead and things like that. But bottom line is, it sucks, and it's not a position you want to be in. There's also an aspect of this where the person could try to get your license suspended until you comply with the financial requirements of that injury, of that car accident. And so it's really a horrendous idea to not have insurance for that reason. But also, you're also not protecting yourself from if somebody injures you and they do not have insurance. So if somebody causes you significant injuries, significant medical bills, and they don't have insurance, and you did not buy uninsured motorist insurance, then you're basically stuck with the bills, with the injury, with not being able to work, with not being able to provide for your family. And there's really not much you can do about that because you'd be on the opposite side of this. You could get a judgment. You could try to go execute it if the person has money. You could try to collect on it. But that, number one, will take a long time. Number two, is not guaranteed. And number three, basically, you're at the mercy of what happens in a 1 to 3 year period, as opposed to if you had uninsured motorist insurance, you would be in a very good position to collect what you're entitled to and be made whole from your uninsured motorist insurance policy. And so if you have a car and if you go to get insurance and your agent says, oh, don't worry about it, the only thing you need is PIP, it's the only thing that's needed by law, and it's a very cheap premium, say no to that. If they want to tell you that they're going to get you full coverage, and that full coverage, when you look at it, it's going to be $10,000 in bodily injury and some property damage, liability and collision coverage, tell them no, because that's not really going to do much for you. at the end of the day. Make sure you take control of your insurance decisions. Make sure you're fully insured for anything that can happen, because when something terrible does happen, you want to be in the best position that you can be for you and your family. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. I will catch you again next time.